What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Black Bookshelf Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Walker, here with the homie Marina K. How you feeling today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Uh, just chilling, enjoying this nice spring weather, all this nasty ass pollen and shit,
Pollen.
trying to kill me and my family. But shit, we we gonna keep it moving. Um, this month. We had our book of the month for March. When no one is watching by Alyssa Cole. How did you feel about
Um, I
it?
This book was different for me. Like I've never read a book like this, and it took me a little while to get into it. It was like a little bit of a slow burn for me.
That's facts, man. To me, it was kind of uneven pacing, which which is one of my cons about the book. But before we get into what we like and what we dislike, I'm gonna read a short summary. So, When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole is a contemporary mystery thriller that follows Sydney Green, a lifelong resident of a historically black Brooklyn neighborhood that's rapidly changing due to gentrification. As condos spring up and longtime neighbors inexplicably vanish, Sydney becomes obsessed with preserving her community and its history. She decides to launch her own walking tour to highlight the neighborhood's Black heritage and resist the influx of wealthier white newcomers. With the re- with the reluctant with the reluctant help of her new neighbor Theo, Sydney digs deeper into the changes happening around her, only to uncover a chilling conspiracy that suggests the disappearances and revitalization efforts are far more sinister than they seem. The novel uses suspenseful storytelling to explore real world issues like systematic racism, class inequality, and the devastating effects of gentrification on communities of color, blending social commentary with thriller elements. So, we're going to hop right on into it.
All
Three
right.
things that you liked about When No One Is Watching.
I like the focus on gentrification and making gentrification like a literal monster.
Mhm.
I like the focus on Sydney's mental health, and I like Sydney's confession about where she buried her mother.
That's dope. One of those I definitely agree with was the powerful social themes of racism and gentrification. Gentrification is happening in every city across America. So I thought that's what really drew me to the book when I read the short summary, the description about the book before we purchased it and decided it was going to be the March book of the month. I was like, dang, gentrification, that's something that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
Um, things are getting higher in the inner cities, and it's pushing people to homelessness, or it's pushing them to a whole different other state from where they even grew up and even know about. So um, I did enjoy those two things. I did like the character development of Sydney and Theo. I think within like a week span, they kind of became two different people just due to the external elements of the book, things that happened throughout that week. I think they end up becoming more mature and growing into friendship with each other just due to all the devastation that's happening around them. And I did enjoy the theme of the togetherness of the community,
Yeah.
how they came together, how they did things together, how everybody in the community knew each other name. That's something that doesn't happen that often in today's communities.
Yeah.
Growing up, I knew the lady across the street, I knew her kids, I knew the people down the streets. We had candy ladies. We could go get freeze pops. We could go hoop. we could come outside, we could fish fight and be back cool the very next day. But
Yeah.
today I feel like we don't have that togetherness in the community. So I did enjoy that element of the book.
Yeah, you can't even ask your neighbor to borrow sugar.
Hell nah, you can't ask them for nothing. Like the kids don't even you ride through the inner city neighborhoods. Kids ain't outside hooping. They
They
ain't
on
playing
the iPad.
sidelines field football no more. Like
They
ain't
on
no
the
hide and seek games. Ain't no
nope.
water hydrogens open. With kids jumping in the water. Ain't them little portable swimming pools out there with the little kids in them. So it's different. It's different. Like so. I did enjoy the togetherness of the community in this book. Um, so what are three things that you didn't like about when no one is watching?
I really only found two things I didn't. I didn't like the pacing. It wasn't
Mhm,
for me. I feel like it was kind of up and down, and it was hard to keep my attention. Like
mhm,
it was like I was forcing myself to keep paying attention. And then Theo's, I guess, crush or intimacy with Sydney. I feel
mhm.
like that was unnecessary. I feel like they could have just been friends.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that because to me, Sydney, how she talked about white people in this book, it made no sense for her to end up with a white man.
Yeah,
Like that didn't, and then like the fact that um the gentrification elements of the book makes it seem like every until the very end, it makes it seem like it's pretty much an all white type of project that's going. It just didn't all the things that was happening. It didn't make sense for her to end up with a white guy.
yeah. So I didn't too much care for that, but those are the
I
only two
def-
things I didn't like.
I definitely agree with you. It was a slow burn, and it was taking me a long time. It was like one of those books where I just wasn't dying to keep reading it.
Mm,
Like I literally read it because it was the book of the month for March.
yeah,
I feel like it had good elements. I just feel like it didn't tie it together. I feel like the writer was kind of hit me with too many. You know how them black people that go to PWIs and then really grow up in like predominantly black areas and shit. It's like new nigga shit. It's just like, oh, I just discovered blackness. It kind of gave me those vibes for
okay,
some reason. For some reason, I feel like the imagery left a lot to be desired. It was times where I was confused by scenes because I couldn't really see the scene.
yeah. I get that. I couldn't picture a lot of stuff either.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm a mood reader, but I couldn't connect with it the way I wanted to.
Right, right. It was just like it was one scene at the end where they were trying to rescue the people, but they end up getting caught. And I
Yeah,
just was like, how the hell did this even happen? Like it's like I have to go back and read. Like, did I miss some words? But this shit just like came out of nowhere. And it's not like it just wasn't to me good imagery from scene to scene. I'm definitely agreeing with you on the uneven pacing. It was like boring for a very long time in this book, and then all the action happens like pretty much from about the 270 page to like the 300 something page.
mhm, yeah,
It was like how did all this shit happen this fast? Um, the tone shifts didn't seem seamless to me. You know, at times I'm thinking, oh, okay, is this a historical fiction book almost? Because you learning about history. Then, is this a mystery? Is this a psychological thriller? Like, sometimes like you can get books that mesh that well.
yeah,
I feel like this book had the right elements, but and it was ambitious, but it didn't come together how I thought it would. Um, I thought the ending was far fetched. I was like, this is just this is just nonsense. Like this is crazy. Like these niggas turn into Mr. and Mrs. Smith within like out of nowhere, and it's just and I just was like, how did this even happen? Like, but you know, that was the author's vision, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like the ending was pretty far fetched.
Well, I like the when the day club crew rescued Sydney and Theo.
But that's my thing though. Like, where the hell? How? Like I'm like, where the hell did they come from? Like them. Like, you know what? I think I would have been happier if they didn't get rescued.
And would have been stuck there.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes, I feel like sometimes movies are great when the bad people win, and I feel like
A lot
sometimes,
of American movies, though, they don't let the bad guy win. Those are
yeah.
foreign movies usually where they let the bad guy win.
But think about it though. Think about it though. You watch any Marvel movies?
Yeah,
When Thanos won, that shit, that shit,
was
like
satisfying.
yeah, it was satisfying because and it made more people go watch the next movie.
Yeah,
Like it was. I felt like the situation was so grim after they got caught that it didn't even make sense for them to win. And then once again, the imagery element, how I didn't like how it wasn't painting a picture. Like, how the hell these people just appear out of nowhere?
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just saying. But do you feel what I'm saying? Like, how the hell did they just
Understand
appear
what
out
you're
of nowhere?
saying. Like I had some issues like picturing because I feel like that scene would have been like an action scene for me in my head, but I couldn't picture it.
I couldn't picture it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't see it.
I
You
couldn't
know
see
that.
it.
But like when I got to that point when them two got captured, I was like, it ain't too many pages left in this book. Maybe this will be satisfying if they don't, if because shit, ultimately the theme of gentrification, you can't stop it for the most
No,
part. So to me, that would have been satisfied if we going with the element of gentrification. You can't stop it.
that
You
makes
know?
sense because she made gentrification like it was a literal monster, like
Yeah,
that it was swallowing people up. So I get what you're saying. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what was your favorite scene or part when no one is watching?
That when the day club crew rescued them, but I said that because I feel like your elders or your ancestors always gonna guide you
Yeah.
or come save you. So that's why I like that part. But as far as like the action of the scene when they like killed Kim and her daddy and all that stuff, like I couldn't picture it. I was reading it, but I couldn't picture it.
I think that part I could actually picture because it kind of remind me of, I know it's not the same, but Ozark when they call that meeting and the little girl with the funny voice, she go up there and kill the guy that killed her brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like that's the scene that came to mind. So I could picture that part. It was more so um like when they go down into like the area where all the people are trapped. Okay, you free people, but then you get caught easily, and then you end up, and then like it didn't, like I just was like, how did you do all this and easily get caught by two fat people? Like that don't even make sense. But I think my favorite scene was the boardroom shooting, which I did like that because I did feel like old girl needed to be killed because she was talking too crazy to Theo. Like I just felt like, you gotta have some balls at some point, bro. Like, she packing she packing overnight bags. You see her going out the house finna go smash somebody else, and you going up in your room with no air conditioning. and got to come downstairs to shower and like that. I was like, bro, you got to do better, bro.
That
Like
man was probably depressed. He ain't had no job.
man,
He was living off her basically.
yeah, that was crazy. I did like the Goodfellas reference, because Goodfellas is probably top three favorite movie for me. And when Sydney was talking about how her mother was on top of, I guess, her father, basically with a gun in his face, you know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
Yeah, that made me think about Henry Hill almost getting his head blown out by his wife for cheating. So I enjoyed that reference, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are my two favorite parts. If this was a movie or a TV series, who could you see playing Sydney and Theo?
Nobody.
Really?
When it came to casting, I couldn't think of anyone because it was so hard to picture moments in this book. But I think when they go to rescue the people and like the things of gentrification, it reminded me of they clone Tyrone.
You know what? That's the same shit I thought about too. That's the same movie I thought about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
but
reminded me of they clone Tyrone.
yep. That was the same movie I thought about.
I feel like that movie underrated.
It is, but it's kind of one of those movies like it's a great movie and it's funny, but it's like once I saw it once, like I don't have to watch it
You don't
again.
have to see it again. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just because you already know what's gonna happen. I picked of course Zoe Saldana for Sydney. That only makes
Receiving.
sense. That only makes sense for me. Like just like her history of being with white men, her married to a white man, like in every movie, like every TV show, she with a white man, like New York. I don't even think Zoe. I don't even think she has no black in her. She might got a list. She might got a little bit, but you know.
Oh,
And then I got you. You gonna laugh at this one? I got Joseph Socorro as Theo.
what?
Hey, but you know what? You know what? Like that shit might be fine if them two was to do something like that.
He kind of hot right now, so I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. And the fact that before, first off, I don't even think he a great actor. Like I think he just mid at best.
I can't tell because him playing Tommy and then him playing Bill on Reasonable Doubt, it's like two extremes. And I can't tell if he was playing Bill, if Bill was written like that, because Bill's kind of weird.
Exactly.
So
But
I can't really tell yet. I need some more references.
but if you cross Bill with Tommy, you pretty much get this character right here just based on the background of Theo.
Yeah,
How
because his family had ties to the Russian mob, right?
yeah, to the
Yeah.
mob and shit like that. He was kind of goofy. He was kind of naive. He wasn't racist, but he was. I feel like he developed over that week. Like he wasn't racist, but he was also
He had
kind
some
of had
biases that he
yeah
didn't really.
he had racial biases. And and I thought that was actually a dope element to have his character to have racial biases because people people they walk around, I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced, but soon as a black person like walk to their car and that car by yours, you locking your car door fast as hell. Like,
Mhm.
nigga, I'm getting into my car. The fuck?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Joseph Securo, that playing Theo, that shit would be kind of entertaining. And Zoe Saldana, she can act her ass off. She just, she love her some white men. So what would you rate when no one is watching?
I gave it a 3.5.
Okay, I gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Um, 3.5 is good though. I feel like when I was reading other book ratings, you had some people giving it fours, you had some people giving it 3.5. I kind of feel like when I read the reviews, a lot of the same sentiments were shared. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the uneven pacing, um, it had dope elements. It
Yeah,
had, it just seemed like it didn't all come together for the whole book. Um, I I think you know it was cool, but it didn't keep me wanting to read more. You know.
yeah, I wasn't as engaged as I typically am.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think this book, like honestly, she could write, but it wouldn't make me want to read more of her work.
I would, cause she writes in different genres. I think this was her first psychological thriller.
Okay, okay. So that
Mm.
makes sense then, because you know what I'm saying, to go from reading, shit like King of Ashes, and stuff like that, when you get into like psychological, like crime thriller type of situations, I feel like it
Yeah.
kind of got to be a little bit more upbeat throughout the book. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But yeah, we gonna wrap this up. This was our March book of the month. As always, hit that subscribe button below. I'm Nick Walker. That's Marina K. Peace. We out.